Hey everybody. What is the NIH? And why is it important that we know who they are? President Trump specifically mentions them and PEPFAR in one of his virus updates this past week. And for those of you who don't know, PEPFAR is the acronym for the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief. And according to their website, it is a United States governmental initiative to address the global HIV/AIDS epidemic. Close quote. I would recommend viewing Amazing Polly's videos on PEPFAR. She does a great job connecting the dots, so I will leave a link for that. Anyway, moving on to NIH. According to their website, the National Institutes of Health, which is a branch of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, is the nation's medical research agency, close quote. The history of this agency dates back to 1798 and was formerly known as the Marine Hospital Service. However, as a side note, interestingly, in the 1880s, Congress charged the MHS with, quote, examining passengers on arriving ships for clinical signs of infectious diseases, close quote. So they were responsible basically for who could enter this country health-related. Anyway, they go on to say, quote, NIH is responsive to congressional legislation that adjusts the NIH's programs to meet changing research needs. As a result of the NIH reauthorization process, NIH is able to respond strategically, close quote. So what is this reauthorization process? And I quote, on January 15, 2007, President Bush signed H.R. 6164 as P.I. 109-482, the National Institutes of Health Reform Act of 2006, affirming the importance of NIH and its vital role in advancing biomedical research to improve the health of the nation, close quote. I should have known it was either Hussein, a Clinton, or a Bush behind all of this, but I digress. So it looks like their focus is biomedical research. Specifically, why? Hopefully we'll get to that later. Going over some of their bullet points first, I bring into question the huge amount of money allotted to this agency. Is this another way for them to funnel money that they take in via grants? Is it a way for them to funnel that money elsewhere? Second, why does this bill, and I quote from their website, quote, delete most reports pertaining to NIH in current law and replaces them with one biennial report to Congress, close quote. Why? Why was this set up to delete real reports and replace them with a scripted one? Well, if you don't want the American taxpayer knowing where his tax money is actually going, I guess you'd create agencies that funnel the money wherever you want it to go in the form of grants. And then you delete the real information that traces the tax money back to you in the form of one scripted report that you present, which legally and formally points the finger of blame at everyone else except you, the culprit. But I digress. Another disturbing bullet point describes how the director established the, quote, ad hoc working group of the NIH steering committee, close quote. Hold up, say what? What the heck is this NIH steering committee? What exactly are they steering? Us? Our reaction to pandemics? What do you think of when you read the word steering? According to their website, steering committees and working groups, quote, have broad scientific and clinical expertise and are not current collaborators of the funded programs. And they will attend the annual meetings, review the progress of the center's focus on antimicrobial resistance and infectious diseases, and those involved will also foster collaboration in areas of shared expertise and project milestones. Close quote. It appears to be very vague, perhaps intentionally. Interestingly, it also states some things that they have implemented, like, and I quote, by creating the Research Condition and Disease Categorization RCDC system launched in February of 2009, the RCDC utilizes a computer-based tool that applies a uniform process of accounting for NIH funding for diseases and conditions. Close quote. The list is long of some of the institutes that make up this national institute, so we will have to cover that in another video all its own. I think that it's also another tactic of this invisible enemy. How many organizations can they create to hide their true intentions and activities? Obviously, there is no limit or oversight. Anyway, here are some of the NIH centers. There are so many tentacles to each organization, deliberate by design, that it takes time not only to research but to sort through, which is why I say it's a tactic that they use to keep everyone at arm's length from what they are doing. I think once we understand how all of these organizations, committees, foundations, think tanks, groups, whatever you want to call it, operates, and who the people are behind them, then the bigger picture starts to emerge of why they created all of these entities in the first place. The infiltration picture begins to come into focus, especially when you find the corrupted connections between these entities and our government.